Good news is they captured the escaped prisoners. Whew, I feel safer already. Welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. If you saw the news last week about the escaped prisoners, you might have missed that they are all back in custody. And depending on where you found out that they were back in custody, you might have missed some details. CNN did a report, they have it on their website, that they were apprehended. All 4 prisoners were apprehended. They're back in custody. Just like several other sites that listed how much time they were doing. What all the sites forgot to mention was how much time they had already done. They also failed to mention, most of these reports, how the prison is set up, how prison camps are set up. Because federal prison camps, I did see a couple of sites and news outlets actually report some pertinent facts, some relevant facts, that prison camps, federal prison camps, don't have fences. Why? Because that's the entire point of going to a camp. Your points have reached to such a level, you've been deemed not to be a danger or a risk, that you can be in a prison setting that doesn't even have fences. That's why they call it walkaways, because they literally just walked away. Now, if you saw my video, you would have seen I said when they walk away from prison camps, they're not trying to escape. They're not running. They're sneaking away to have a little fun and trying to get back in time before anybody notices they are gone. That's the point. That's one of the unofficial perks of being at a camp. And the objective is not to get caught. Unfortunately for these gentlemen, they got caught. They got discovered while they were out, and that's where the story picks up for us. The reports were, hey, what's going on? How's this happening? Marshals are on the case. FBI is on. And I'm like, these guys are in the area most likely, not too far. And here's why I would assume they're not too far, because you can't be too far if you're trying to get back in time. So you're someplace close by, having some fun, and the objective is hurry up and get back before count time. If you don't know who the staff member is on, or something happens for some reason, there's an emergency count, then you could wind up in a situation like it appears these guys wound up in, where there's a count that they didn't expect to happen that happens, and they get caught up. Because you see, the BOP has several count times. And if you know what the count times are, you're like, okay, after one count time, you've got a window, hurry up and go, and hurry up and get back before the next official countdown. Of course, some guards, some BOP staff will be hyper vigilant and may do some extra stuff. And of course, at any given time, there might be an emergency count or an unexpected count that goes on. And it looks like that might have been what happened here. Either that, or somebody who didn't like them went ahead and said something. You've always got to be aware of that possibility as well. That somebody who has a grudge or somebody who's just trying to get points for themselves will snitch on you, which is why you got to keep stuff. But like I said, if you watch CNN, if you looked at CNN's report or some of these other reports, they left out a lot of details, because I was glad to see NPR actually provided some very relevant details about how they came back in custody. I'll give you a hint. They all voluntarily surrendered because they weren't trying to run. They were sneaking out for some fun, and once they realized their absence was noticed, now they had to get back. But here's what happened. But you may be wondering why it took so long before they surrendered. Once again, once they realized their absence was discovered, they're like, okay, we're about to lose our camp status forever. And that's what it is. Because once you do that, they're not going to put you in a camp again. You're going to get sent to a higher level institution. You're going to get at least a 100 series shot. And possibly, worst case scenario, separate charges. I hope that they manage to avoid separate charges, but with the press on it, they might actually be looking at separate charges, which is quite unfortunate. But once they realized that they were discovered missing, they're like, okay, listen, we're about to go down, we're about to get sent to higher level institutions. We might as well make the most of it. So they might have stayed out just a little bit longer, just to have a little bit more fun before turning themselves in. One guy turned himself in on Sunday morning. So they were discovered missing early Sunday morning, about like 1 or so, and the first guy returned himself into custody Sunday morning. I'm guessing a few hours later. The other three, two turned themselves in Tuesday morning, and the last turned himself in on Wednesday. Like I said, they all reported back to the facility because, hey, what it was is we're not trying to run. We went out to have some fun, got caught. And so I said, hey, let's just have a little bit more fun before one last hurrah before we get sent back up top. That's what it is. That's all it was about. So just like I said, all of the hysteria that people were trying to act, oh no, escaped. This guy's doing 18 years. Like, stop it. He's done most of his sentence. He's in the camp because his points have dropped to a level where he was determined not to be a danger, just like all of them. It's not a big deal. And I get that BOP doesn't like the way it looks, but I hope that it would have been nice if all of the other outlets actually told the entire story instead of leaving out the key details, that they weren't apprehended, that they all voluntarily surrendered. I really wish that these media outlets would have said that they voluntarily surrendered, like one YouTuber said that they would. As always, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And if you disagree with me, if you think, no, listen, they caught them in the nick of time, I'm going to tell you to check out the NPR article, because I kind of know what I'm talking about. Trust me on this one. I kind of know what I'm talking about. I'll see you next time.